Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 7th through the 13th. And during that time, we have a last quarter moon that comes in on the 8th. And that can be a time where we're wrapping up those things that we started during the new moon, definitely being a little inward reflecting as we think about, what worked, what didn't work, what might we want to change and start anew when the next new moon rolls around next week. Also, we have the waning crescent moon energy, which is a time of calm and stability. This is for the rest of the week. And it's a time, again, to be thoughtful and growth oriented. Like, what is working for us right now, and what do we want to change when the new moon approaches? So it's a time for us to learn and grow and just wrap things up this week. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to balance spirituality and practicality. Really good advice for any of us. So let's see what the Libra Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for the week is that you try to pay attention to the language of synchronicity this week. So, this would be if anytime you have any sort of issue or, something you're kind of thinking about or working out on your mind, the answers are typically just all around us in the ether. And this could be in the way of messages, little things that you might see on a billboard or maybe on a bumper sticker on a car. It could be angel numbers that are around you, repeating numbers. It could be things that you overhear on the radio or in a conversation that you're not even a part of. Let's say you're, having lunch somewhere and you overhear a part of a conversation and you're like, oh, that's the answer to something I've been thinking about. So just try to pay attention a little bit more and be open to those synchronistic things this week. And that is my fun weekly reminder for you. All right, Libra, let's get into this reading. We've got June 7th through the 13th. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Your overall present energy right now is the Knight of Swords. So you might need to use that balance because something comes in, some quick message comes in, and sometimes you get a message that comes in, it just changes everything. You're going along in your life and you're like, oh, and boom, here comes this message. So it seems like one of those things that's coming in. So you definitely want to be very practical and to manage this, and also to think about things in kind of in a spiritual way too. So just balancing those two is really, that's where we all want to be, is that temperance card energy, that nice centered, oh, I can make these right decisions in both sides. So think about, or kind of just be wary of something that might come in for you in that way, a new message or something. So your current situation is the Hangman. So it's about having a new perspective, a new take on it. Whatever this information, hold on, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Whatever this new information may change your perspective, or how you manage it might also change your perspective, but you've got to look at something in a new way. And let's say that it's something that comes in and there's just an old way that you would have instantly managed something like that. You're going to do it in a little bit of a different way, maybe this time. Maybe that does balance spirituality and practicality, where you might have just flown off the handle previously and handled it in a certain way that now it's coming back to you again, that you have to manage. So what is at the root of this situation is the Devil card, who I've seen quite a bit and in this position this week. It's very interesting as I get into the readings, when I start to see which signs are interacting with where you guys are interacting with each other. It's very fascinating to me. This Devil card is at the root of this situation. So is this just something kind of messing with you as a little test? Which is definitely what the Devil does, is there to test, to come in and make you feel, make you feel these insecurities or false fears. This could be, I don't know, some message of something that you could be closed-minded about. Anyway, yeah, I feel like the Devil is behind this, and it's not just you. Again, I've had this card in so many different positions. So I feel like there's something coming in maybe for a bigger part of the collective that's false, but is going to make us, many of us, react in some way or another. But just remember to keep your centered self, and be balanced with your spiritual and your practicality. In your recent past here is the Empress. So the Empress, I'm sorry. So you've, in the recent past, you've entered into something that is very long term, very creative. I have to mention that she's our card of motherhood. It could be parenthood that you've entered into. That you've decided to take on the decision of being a parent that goes on for a long time. This could be so many different things, but I do have to mention that she is our motherhood card. As far as long term things, could be a job or a home. So it's something that you don't enter into lightly, that you're going to take on, and you're going to be there for the long haul. So you may just have some sort of disruption or something, and it doesn't have to be negative, but with the devil card here, it makes me think that maybe it is, but it's something it's a test. It's like something it's not really real, but it is kind of a test. Are you going to look at it that way in this new perspective? Maybe, because now you have a heads up from this tarot reading, right? What's on your mind this week is, yeah, it's going to bring on some anxiety. I'm not shocked about that. Whatever it is, it's a test. How are you going to manage it? How will you deal with this? Will you deal with it with a new perspective? Perhaps. What's just ahead of you this week is the King of Wands. So, are you going to be very passionate about this thing? Is it going to light a fire? Are you going to react with fire? Anytime we have air and fire mixing, that just makes things a little bit more passionate as well. So there is a lot of air energy surrounding this fire of this King of Wands that comes in. So, it's ahead of you to kind of feel that fire. And maybe that's kind of your little warning sign. It's like, don't get too fiery. Again, balance things out with the spiritual and the practical, and how you're managing things, so that you can conquer this with a new perspective. All right. In your advice position here is to call on your inner strength. This could be to hold back. I feel like also I want you, if you are a cross watcher and you have a Virgo in your life, I just go watch that reading. I feel like this may be very related to that. Anyway, so make sure you're calling upon your inner strength. And maybe it's so that you don't fly off the handle here with this passion card and react in some way. Again, air and fire together. It's just a very combustible energy. All right. And let's see, what is beyond your control this week is your ultimate happiness. So I think that is your choice. And I think it's your choice. Again, can you balance things, or are you going to fly off the handle? And I think that'll be your big question. If you can balance things out, I think this is where you're going to end up. It's kind of beyond your control, which tells me you do. It tells me you do kind of, I almost want to take like a big deep breath, like there's a way you want to react, and it's just very fiery, and it's not good. Use your inner strength, have that new perspective, and come away with this happiness card here instead. I think it's a better choice for you. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid, is the Lover's card. Okay, so are you trying to avoid being at conflict with your lover, or is that your secret desire, is to come together with them in some way to maybe help manage this? So it is your secret desire, I believe, to either have the support, and this is twice again that these two cards, when they come up, and it's a double card and the Lover's card together. Very interesting. I don't know if it was the Virgo reading, but you might want to go look at that one. Anyway, um, yeah, is it your secret desire to come together with your partner this week, or are you trying to avoid that? And I want to say that, like, do you want to involve them with whatever this drama, this information that comes in, and I don't mean involve them like like, are you going to seek their counsel? Go let them know what's going on with you. We probably should. That's, is it your secret desire to have that comfort there that a partner can give when you've got something that's going on that seems a little turbulent? So ask yourself, that's a big question. Some of you might just be like, no, I'm just going to tough it out and do this on my own and not worry about, but that'll be a question for you, is, do you want to rely on that partner to kind of be your soft place there to come and have someone to talk to, right? In your outcome position, the Four of Swords, which is about rest and meditation, which doesn't really, I feel like that also is going to center you. The big question is, will you fly off the handle with whatever this information comes in for you this week? Will you? I don't know. I mean, I feel like what you're being offered here is all the alternatives to doing that. It's, look at it from a new perspective. There's really might be something that there's nothing you can do about, but you're going to pull on your inner strength. You're going to, you have that as an option. You have your lover to talk to as an option. Someone's very close to you that can help you through, and just rest in meditation, something thinking about, and just really think deeply about it before you go off again. Um, on like a fiery tangent. What's hidden from you this week? Yeah, not a lot of choices. So kind of a narrow path when it comes to choices. This is a very interesting reading, Libra. I'm trying to think if there's something here that I missed. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I feel like this thing is coming to you again as a test to see if you can do that. Can you be balanced? Can you maintain your calm? Can you pull on your inner strength? Because I feel like it's just the devil kind of messing with you this week. And you're not alone. I feel like, again, I've seen this in so many other readings that it's almost like, um, there's something that comes out that comes to all of us this week. It's not just you. And I'm not saying it has to be the one same thing, but it's just kind of the energy that it's not just the Libra collective that's going to be dealing with this. It's other collectives as well, where it's kind of a false thing messing with you to test you. So anyway, pay attention to the test and pass the test. Use all of these things at your disposal to help you get through this. So, all right, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Libra as they're tested. Speak up, which I feel like was the same again as the Virgo. So if you have a Virgo in your life, definitely go watch that reading. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care. And here is the speak up. Will you speak up fiery? Maybe. You're looking at things from a whole new perspective also. All right, self-care for Libra this week. And the card that you get is passion. Well, maybe, here is this card of passion. Okay, let's see what this one says. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. Okay, what is that for you? Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I feel like this message comes in, you get a whole new perspective on something. Again, are you going to use these tools? It looks like, passion is a part of this. There's something that's a little fiery. Again, when you get fire and air together, it just makes that fire bigger. So make sure that you do realize at least that you have all of these things to draw upon. You've got your inner strength, your happiness, your relationship, and rest and meditation to draw upon to help do that balancing act if you need to. So Libra, good luck with this, whatever this might be for you. And thank you so much for being here. If you are comfortable sharing and letting me know if any of this resonated or, what's going on, it might be different. It is different for different Libras. So, if you're comfortable sharing, let us know what's going on with you this week. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week, where you are certainly welcome to come back and we can see where this energy goes. So thanks so much again for being here, Libra. Good luck. Bye-bye.